Here's what I don't understand. Like you always
What don't you understand?
Well, you
Michael?
always wanted to make movies, right? We know that.
Well,
I mean, for the most part, since you started making movies, you wanted to continue making movies.
mm-hmm.
Now, what's hard for me to wrap my head around is it's such a daunting task to make a movie, let alone a successful movie. But then you're doing all these things. Guardians 1 is a huge success. Guardians 2 is a huge success. Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, all these things. And then someone's over at DC says, hey, we want you to run the studio.
Yeah.
What would make someone, first of all, did you think about saying, no, that's not what I want to do, and almost say no?
When it first came up, I was like, and it didn't come up. Nobody came to me and said, do you want to run DC? But it came to me very early in the process. Would that be something you would be interested in? This is very early. And I was like, nah, I don't think so. And the reasons were because it was me and it wasn't me and Peter. What made it appealing to me eventually was because I also went to Peter early on and he was like the same way. But what eventually became appealing to me was doing it with Peter. So Peter Safran has been
great.
He's my manager, right?
Love
He's
him.
been my manager since I first moved to LA when he was the president of Brillstein Gray.
Mm-hmm.
We're very close friends. We've traveled together. We hang out with our families together. We're, close friends. And we've gotten maybe one or two arguments over the past 25 years of working together. We work together exceptionally well. We never step on each other's toes. I respect his opinion completely about many things. And he respects my opinion about creative stuff. And so when it came to us as a pair, and basically Peter sort of managing everything, working as a producer, and me basically working as a director, directing the creative aspects of things, that became a different story. That became suddenly an opportunity to do something that had never been done before, to create the biggest story ever told across, film, television, gaming, and more. And to really create a cohesive, DC universe. I also knew that there was going to be many challenges as we embarked on that journey because people have different ideas about how things are supposed to be. People have all sorts of things that they love, whether they love things from, the DCEU, or they love things from the Arrowverse, and they love things from the animated worlds or whatever. That is something that we knew was going to be a ring of fire we were going to have to walk through.
And you knew you were going to be loved and hated at the same time?
I knew,
because there's always people out there.
I knew I've been used to being loved and hated for a long time. Like, I'm on Twitter, that's what Twitter is. It's love and hate, Yeah. Twitter is like the prisoner with the love on one hand and hate on the other. And they're just punching you in the face with both sides.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was going to be a period of hardship, and I knew that there had been spectacular missteps in the past with all sorts of different choices.
Good answer. But I'm thinking, were you thinking to be the head of DC, was this going to hinder me from continuing my filmmaking and being so, having all that passion into one focus, as opposed to now I'm going to direct a movie, but I also have to worry about running a studio. How do we do that?
Yeah.
I think Peter kind of helps that out because
Peter helps that out. I think that it's always been, I only have so much time in my day. I only have so much I can do. And I think it was always a question about how much am I going to spend on writing? How much am I going to spend on directing? How much am I going to spend, ushering other writers? How much am I going to spend ushering other directors? How much am I going to spend mapping out, sort of a story that other writers can follow? There's I only have so much I can do. I'm aware of that. And so, yeah, it did. And I love directing. So I didn't want to lose that either. But at my heart, I'm a storyteller. In my heart, I am not the same as other filmmakers, I don't think. Some other filmmakers for sure. But in my heart, I consider myself a storyteller. I don't consider myself a director over being a storyteller. I'm a storyteller first. And that means whatever way I'm able to tell that story, I'm okay. I have this conversation with Dave Yarva, the director of Brightburn, who's one of my best friends.
Love Dave.
Because he wants to direct movies. He's mostly interested in directing movies. That's what he wants to do. I'm like, if I can tell a great TV story, that is like doing Peacemaker was absolutely great for me. You know,
Mhm.
doing a movie is absolutely great. Like if I'm proud of what I'm putting out, I'm really happy. It doesn't really matter to me what that story is. You know, I started out, I wanted to write comic books when I was younger. If I was writing comic books today, I'd probably be unhappy because, you know, so few people are or reading comic books. But I would probably be, you know, really, you know, happy with what my job was. I'd enjoy that storytelling process.